For those of you who don't know who Keichun is, she does work with corporate, and I have worked off and on with Keichun for I don't like 4 or 5 years probably. And she's one of my favorite corporate mentors, actually. I love her to death. She's so much fun, lots of energy. And just anytime I get on the phone with her, or get off the phone with you, I leave feeling like, okay, like, inspired and having something else that I know that I can apply and improve on. And she asks really good questions of me all the time that challenges me. And I'm like, oh, and which is good. I need that in a mentor. And so I really appreciate that about you, Keichun. And you've met some of these women before at our retreat. She came to our retreat last year in Pensacola. It was amazing and so much fun. We're going to Colorado next year, or this year in the fall. We're moving things this time. We would love to have you again.
Well, thanks for having me, Kristen. I really appreciate you for inviting me, and I'm very honored to be able to talk to this group specifically. Y'all, way to go just on the momentum that you're building and what that means behind what you're doing to build that momentum. It really goes back to the foundation of what we're doing, and that's impacting lives, starting with our own. And so just, first of all, congratulations. So I prepared something super quick because, one, there's no training that I can give you that's going to be earth-shattering, period. This business is just too simple for that. Two, we got work to do. And so I don't want us to be on this call for too long when we have things to do. So I am going to start by sharing this. I work for Beachbody Corporate, like Kristen mentioned, but we have mentors in every single region. So if you're in Florida, if you're in UK, wherever you are at, as long as you are diamond and above, you have access to really any rank, but diamond, once you get to diamond is when you really get that access to corporate mentors. And once you reach 1-star diamond, that's when we begin to have more masterminds where we have coaches from different organizations. We meet weekly to talk about things that are working well, things that are not working well, some ways that we can implement some of these foundations that are the same from person to person, team to team, but the way that we implement it is different. So sharing some of the ways that other organizations may be approaching implementing is just a really great opportunity for you to connect with other coaches that are not in your organization. So that's something definitely to look forward to as you are building this momentum and as you're striving to reach your diamond and 1-star and beyond goals. As I was kind of like meditating and preparing for our conversation today, I kept going back to this story, and I'm almost positive that you've heard the story, but I kept going back to it. So I was like, it's on my heart to share it. And that is the story of the little girl who's walking down the beach with her grandfather. And as the little girl's walking down the beach, she sees these starfish, and she's walking down and she's picking them up and she's flinging them back into the ocean. And she walks a little more, she picks another one up and she flings it back into the ocean. And she does this for a good 15-20 minutes, just picking them up, flinging them in the ocean. And her grandfather looks at her and is like, "What are you doing, child? Like, why are you picking these up and throwing them back in the ocean?" And she's like, "Well, I'm trying to save them." And he says, "Pause, look ahead. Look at all these starfish as we're walking down this beach. There's no way you're going to be able to save all of them. So why would you even pick them up and throw them in?" She pauses. She looks up at him. She looks down. She picks up another one and she throws it in the ocean. And she says, "Well, me throwing that one back in the ocean meant a lot to that one. And so I'm going to do what I can do." And as I thought about that story in my preparation for this conversation today, I was like, that is what you guys are doing as you're pushing towards this goal. Every invite, every post, every marketing where you have that call to action, everything you do is that opportunity for us to impact a life, to change a life, to save a life. And yes, there are many people, several hundreds of millions of people that need our help, and maybe even several that will say no. But that invite and that what you're doing means a lot to that person. So what does pushing for your individual goals and this team goals mean for you? And really, I think it boils down to three things. I think that one, it means that you are working towards reaching your goals and impacting lives, namely your own. You know, as we set these Beachbody goals, they are directly aligned with what your personal goals are. And so your personal goals, how many of us have a reason why we're pushing for Diamond, 1 star, beyond, whatever you're pushing for this month? Love it, Martha. Okay, perfect. So you guys have a why. I'm assuming that why is attached to your personal goals. And what pushing for this means is that you are doing the things necessary to reach the object of your desires. You're doing the things necessary to reach your personal goals by shooting for it. So that's what pushing for this means. Number two, it also means what's possible. It means what's possible for this team, like just what we can do when we come together and lean on each other. But also, I don't want to say almost more importantly, I won't say that, but maybe it means what's possible for you. Because if this team can, your team can. And that's big, because Deanne is no different than Kristen. And her team is no different than Kristen's team. Ashley is no different than Chris. What's possible for Kristen and what's possible for this team is possible for you. It's possible for your team. And I think that as you guys are working to reach this goal, and when you guys reach this goal, that should be a huge realization that if she can, I can. If I can, they can. And that is an amazing snowball effect of belief, and belief is the thing that drives people to success, period. Not even just in this business, but just period. And lastly, I think it means that you've surrounded yourself with a group of women who are truly on a mission. They're not just saying what they want to do, but you are doing those things. You're doing the hard things. You're doing the scary things. You're trying to figure out this balance of being a good mom and wife and ministry leader, and also entrepreneur and business owner and coach and leader. And the fact that you've teamed up in today's day, where it's much easier to be negative and to start arguments on social media or with strangers than ever before, you've surrounded yourself with people who uplift people for a living. What? Like, how blessed are we that we have found people that are like-minded with similar values and similar beliefs and similar work ethic that we can lean on and push to impact lives, starting with our own. So those are what pushing for this goal means for you. So again, working towards reaching your goals and impacting lives, what's possible, and that you've surrounded yourself with a quality group of people. But what's next? I also want to talk about what's next. And what's next, and I just have a couple things. Let's see, we have somebody chatting. Amen. Yes. To set your goal, to set the next goal. So as you are working towards reaching this goal, it's going to be very imperative that as we come towards the end of the month, regardless of where you're at, to go ahead and set another goal. Why is that so important before we get there? Because, and I'll talk about 6 to 7, 9 and 10 in just a second, but as we're pushing, we're probably giving this an 8, 9, 10, maybe. And next month we're going to want to give this a 6, 7, but when we're pushing hard, maybe for the first time at this 8, 9, 10 level, and I'll explain what that means in just a second, it's going to be much easier for us next month to fall into a 3 or a 1. And so it's really important for us to identify our personal goal and the Beachbody goal that we're going to be pushing for next month before the end of this month. And I think that a good goal for those that are working towards Diamond would be team builder, because team builder is Diamond, but team builder also means that you're not just a Diamond earning $18 every now and then. Team builder means that you're a Diamond that's held for 6 consecutive weeks. It also means that you have at least 1,000 volume on your weak leg. And what that volume translates to is income. And so it allows us to really begin to talk about what your income goals are and how do we make sure we get you there. A team builder is also 80% more likely to hold their diamond and get to the next level because they're building a more solid foundation of people who want to do this. So set your next goal. And in my opinion, it should be team builder. And then continue to stretch yourself daily, weekly, monthly, annually. But no matter what happens, wake up knowing that you could not have given your goal this week, this month, a fingernail tip more. And the cool thing about not leaving anything on the table is that you get to define what everything means. When we say give it your all, you get to define what your all means. Give it your all and run through the finish line. Like truly, give it your all and run through this finish line. And then the best thing that's going to come out of this push is going to be your enthusiasm, your increased confidence, and the passion that comes with the enthusiasm and that increased confidence. And that is going to be your best script. That's going to be your best training. That's going to be your best resource and guide. That's going to be the best way to attract business builders and people like you. I often get asked, how do I attract more people like me? And this is it. The energy that comes with, even if you fall short of the goal, if you know that you gave it your all defined by you, you still feel pumped up. You should feel pumped up because we're growth conscious and goal conscious. So you should be pumped up regardless if you can wake up and say, you know what, I fell short, but I gave it my all and I grew a whole lot and I touched a lot of people as I worked towards reaching that goal and reaching our team goal. That's how you attract people like you. And that's what we want to duplicate for your new coaches, that excitement, that passion. So obviously you guys have big goals. Put those babies on the top of your mountain and then climb your mountain one step, one activity, one vital behavior at a time. But I do challenge you to give this month a little bit of a different approach. And now, I mentioned earlier the 8, 9, 10, the 6 and 7. Let me explain it just a second. So if we're on a scale of 1 to 10, where 1 is sitting on the couch doing nothing, and 10 is like go, 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 to the point where you're almost like having to come out for air because you're going, we have big goals and that's okay, right? Just not all the time, but from 1 to 10. We're right now maybe going to be at an 8, 9, 10, and that's okay. Where we typically want to land is about a 6 or a 7, 6.5, 7, in my opinion. The cool thing is that you do get to individually define what those look like, but I want you to take a different approach with this month and give it an 8, 9, 10, defined by you. And then as we go into next month, find your 7. Does that make sense, y'all? Okay. So the basic foundations for success in this business will be the same. And it's that. And it's finding your own vigor or stamina to hit it. So as we are working to leave nothing on the field defined by you, I would challenge you this month also to 2x what you're doing, to 5x it, 10x it. Like give this month, if we're talking about 8, 9, 10, a little bit more. Wake up a little bit earlier if you can. Stay up a little bit later if you can. Don't allow your head to hit the pillow unless you have checked it off with passion and pride, your business activity tracker. And do it daily and do it consistently. And also consistency is defined by you too. We're just saying show up and you get to define what all that means. But put skin in the game on the days that you don't feel like it. On the days that you find yourself beginning to fall off a little bit, go back to the basics and use your team. Use this team. They are your power. This momentum is your power. The team is your power. And we can use the momentum as your power to share your stories more boldly. to share stories more boldly about the lifestyle and your income, not allowing society to dictate what success should look like as we're sharing this, because it was huge for you. So don't let Sally Sue from middle school tell you that it doesn't mean anything that meant so much for you and your family. Because that thing that may not meant a lot to Sally Sue, although it probably did, but that meant a lot to you will mean a lot to someone who's waiting for that. The power to share what you're doing. People should know that you're someone that they can go to for their health and fitness needs, but also for them to start a side or main business. But they won't know unless we share boldly and unapologetically, and unless we invite them to do it with us. The power to invite people to join. Inviting is the first part of following up with love and good intentions. There's no script, y'all. And for the most part, you'll never say the wrong things to the right person. And so that burning feeling that's in the pit of your stomach right now, that, this could really happen, roll with it. Use that again as your power. This is where your history is written. This is when your history is written. Like this month, you will talk about this month. You will talk about when you gave it 10, when you gave it 9, when you gave it 8, when you really did the things that we talk about doing. Like you really showed up for yourself, for your business, for your team. It's possible, y'all. And the desire in the back of your head that you have for yourself, for your family, for the lifestyle you want to leave or live, you can do this. Like it is possible. There are people who have blazed the path with similar adversity, with similar backgrounds, with similar life stories, who did it, who showed us that it's possible. So we just have to believe, and we have to do, and we have to lean on this team when life gets hard. You trusted this team enough to join them. Trust them to lift you up when life begins to throw you some curveballs. So as I end this, my challenge to you is twofold. Crush your activity tracker weekly this month. And again, crush is defined by you, but hopefully that means that you're completing your activity tracker, doing 2x, 3x, 5x, 10x, so doing a little bit more, and doing it 7 days a week. That's my challenge to you. Challenge accepted, let me know. And then the second one is to finish this baby strong. And if life, or when life, because it's right, we're human beings and it's almost inevitable, when life begins to happen, or if your belief begins to waver of what is possible, lean on your team and let them know how you feel, and then get back in the game. This month is going to be different. This month is your history being written and what's possible for the future. This is the story that we're going to be sharing, that we, Beachbody Corporate, will be sharing about you, about these teams that are represented here. And it's going to be built on ending trends, plural. It's going to be built on ending the trend of obesity, ending the trend of living paycheck to paycheck, ending the trend of loneliness and limiting beliefs and self-doubt, the trends that you're on the front line of ending. Y'all, this is incredible, that this is what these goals that you're pushing for means. I really look forward to celebrating this team success, and I will continue to hold you guys accountable this month. And just know that I and corporate team, we believe in this team so much. It's possible. So I'm going to open up the floor for any questions or concerns, or this could also be an opportunity for us to brainstorm. If you have anything that you need to brainstorm with the group here, let's see what chats we got. Challenge accepted. Yes. It's okay. Ashley, thank you so much for being so real. Like, this is life. I've been in a slump. Perfect. So now you've identified it. That's a huge first step. What we gonna do about it? Because identifying it and then doing something are two different things. So Ashley, if you can talk, unmute yourself and let us know. If you can't talk, if you can, chat and let us know how you plan to get out your slump. While she's chatting that, any questions?
I have a question. Hi, Keichun.
Hey.
Did I say your name right?
You did.
Okay. I always am like, I read it the wrong way, but I know I said it right. Okay, great. Anyway, so I have a question. So when I'm now trying to build my husband to diamond, but I still want to hit Success Club myself to, for just to at least 5 to get, credits for the next trip.
Okay.
Plus he's on my strong leg. So I really don't need coaches on that leg. So, anyway, how do you balance two? Should I hit Success Club first, then just add to him whatever coaches? Should I add a coach to me, then add a coach to him? And when I do have to add a coach on that right leg, which is my strong leg, I will put it on his weaker leg. So
Okay.
that's why I do drive his volume that way. But he has coaches. I just have a hard time balancing that. And then my second part of the question is just motivating people to hit Emerald.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So, and I'm going to open this up, but what I would tell you, Julie, is one, to take care of your business first. So get yourself to Success Club 5 for those leads and for the trip and things like that. And then if your goal is to help him build to diamond, then you can do the rest, focus the rest of the month on him. So maybe you set a goal for the first few days of the month is all about you, and what you're going to bring in will be personally sponsored by you, and then the latter half of the month will be about him or day, however you want to approach it. So that would be number one. Number two, I am intrigued to know more about your goals, candidly, like your personal goals, and just making sure. It sounds like you have a really good strategy, so I'm naturally assuming that you've already thought about this well and hard to make sure that it made sense for us to build your strong leg. But to answer your last question on how do we motivate people to reach Emerald? Now, I think that one of the biggest reasons that we want to hit Emerald is so that we can officially open up our business and begin to earn some of those cycle bonuses. But also there are leads attached to it. That is the, oh my gosh, I just lost my train of thought. Leads. Oh my gosh, I just lost my train of thought. Anyway, I apologize about that. But as we are motivating, I think that we just tell people. Oh, I know my third thing. So also when people who also have a strong leg like you do, we're able to show them how much money they're potentially leaving on the table by not being Emerald, by taking a look at their back office or having them screenshot their carryover volume. And we're able to calculate with the 2-to-1 ratio how much money they could potentially be earning by being Emerald and beyond. But I don't think that I don't think that we should be motivating, really, candidly. I don't know. This sounds crazy to say, but I think we motivate by telling them what it is and why and how it makes sense to their personal goals. Oftentimes, that's the biggest hurdle. They don't understand how it makes sense to their personal goals. I often get people who are newer and they're like, I want to be diamond. It's like, awesome. Why? It goes back to one of my first questions. Do you guys have a reason why you're pushing for this goal? So making sure that they understand why it matters to them to reach Emerald, and then letting them know that it's totally possible and perfect. If your goal is to, get your phone bill paid for this month, then not only are we going to want to earn Success Club 10, I don't know, but we're also going to want to officially open up your business at this Emerald rank in the next 7 days. I mean, just being kind of matter of fact. So it's not motivating. It's just telling them what it is. What do you guys think about what I'm saying? Pushback, add-ins?
I agree for the most part, just really tying it to what their reason is and their income goal. It just doesn't always, my problem is people will say, yeah, I totally want to do that. And then they don't do it. That's just the only thing. So I didn't know if there was any other nugget you had, but I totally agree with just tying it to everyone's why,
Well, let me ask you this. When they say, I want to do this, and then they don't do it, generally speaking, why are they falling off?
They're just not doing any actions.
So do they know what actions to do?
Yeah, they have their activity tracker. They have, different activity trackers so they can pick.
Okay.
Power of 3, and then the one for Beachbody and all that stuff.
Okay.
But like, it's just a matter of them just not taking those
So
daily
two
actions.
maybe you can ask them if you have permission to hold them accountable, to lovingly nudge them, and how they want you to approach them if they begin to fall short. One of my favorite books is The Color Code Test. And I also like Danny Jackson's Gems, which are personality-based books, which allows us to even be able to approach them in the way that they need to be approached, because maybe we're not saying it in their personality. So that's one. But then two, maybe we can provide like a group pod to where you put all your new coaches who say that same thing together in a pod, like on a Boxer, text message, Facebook, whatever makes the most sense for you and your people, and have them hold each other accountable, or you can hold them accountable there. Thirdly, though, we continue to go, because what we can do within our control is continuing to share what we're doing while we're doing it, our enthusiasm, excitement, inviting people to do it with us, and bringing on new people and giving them the vision and giving them what's possible. Because we can literally go blue in the face trying to motivate people, and when they just maybe need grace. Nothing earth-shattering there. Anything to add, y'all? Okay, Ashley spoke. She said, I know it needs to be done. It's just doing it. I love this gig. I don't have any issues inviting. I'm just really overwhelmed and tired lately. I needed to remember my why and my goal of leaving my full-time job and push through. Yes. So now that we know, Ashley, can we please hold you accountable? And if that's the case, in your team page or in this message thread when we leave, let us know how you want us to hold you accountable. If you want us to ask at the end of the night or the end of the week, how did you do? Did you complete your stuff? Maybe someone can start a thread where you guys are showing your business activity tracker, and that's it. There's no messages. You're just showing it every day. But we talked about leaning on each other. Being vulnerable is so hard, y'all. So let's lean on Ashley, and Ashley, lean into us. Let's do this together. Thank you for sharing that again.
Yeah, and Ashley lives down the road from me, and she did the beginning of this week. She was like, y'all, I've just been like, a little bit off and in a funk the last few days. And it was good because we were all, I was like, well, don't make me come down there. Exactly. That morning. But yeah, I think we definitely have such a great tribe feel within our team, which I love. It's super fun. So yeah. Any other questions, Keichun? I liked what you were saying about the emerald thing, and because I think, I've talked to you about that too, trying to duplicate emeralds within the downline, and I think it's a lot of setting that whole standard right from the very beginning, that like this is just what we do, like it's simple, it's part of the process, it's unlocking your business and just starting to change that language on our team, making that common so that it gets duplicated throughout the downline. And we are focusing on that as a team this month too, with it being March and emerald or green month. And so we're talking about going emerald. What's this?
So those are some of my favorite podcasts on overwhelm specifically.
Nice. Okay, great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
What else do we have?
Any other questions, y'all?
And I was also going to add to that, I think sometimes, like Julie was saying, well, they're just not doing the actions. I find that often boils down to belief in what they're doing, and their own results and what they're getting first. And if they are not focusing on their own fitness journey, then that just translates into everything else. So sometimes having to go back to that. And sometimes I've asked them before, like, what's holding you back right now? Just talk to me about it. What's going on? If I've noticed they got real quiet, just trying to pull it out of them, because maybe we need to slow down a little bit and let's just focus on your fitness journey this month. Yeah. Phase 1. Anybody else?
Such a good addition. How do y'all feel? Let me ask you that. How do you guys feel? You feeling good? Yeah. Excited? Okay. All right.
We are.
I'm ready to go to Disney.
When do you go to Disney?
That's our plan, is when we hit 15 star, we're going to go to Disney World.
Oh, yes, ma'am. I love it. I love Disney.
Did have another question. I'm moving in 2 weeks from Chicago to Maryland. Am I still going to be in the Northeast?
Okay.
Is it the same one, or am I switching?
Okay, so are you asking your corporate mentors?
Yeah.
Okay, so in the Northeast, you'll still work with, because you're already Diamond, so it's Kevin Shaw, and then you'll work with Mary Day and
Okay,
Jeff.
so I do switch. I just wanted to check.
Yes. You will switch from Chicago to the Northeast.
Yeah, I'll just wait for that. Okay, then. Great. Thank you.
You're welcome. We were just talking about you, Greg. Good to see you.
Are you going to be on the cruise?
I will be. I'll see you guys there.
We're excited.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, if that's it, you guys, Keichun, thank you so much. That was super helpful. Great push and encouragement to help us get to the finish line. I took lots of notes. So we really appreciate your time tonight and your energy as always. And I can't wait to hug you on the cruise. A lot of us will be on there too.
Yay. I'll see you guys in a couple weeks.
All right.
Bye, y'all. Thank you.
Good night.
See ya.